Hello, my name is Pine Pepper, and today we're going to code terrain generation in Scratch. We'll write code to make hills, valleys, lakes, trees, and even multiple biomes. I hope you're as excited for this as I am. Now, let's begin. The first thing we need to do is delete this cat sprite. We don't want that. So we can just press the delete button up here. We'll delete that, and we can delete the other one. There we go. Now we have a big blank sprite. Okay, we're going to start this off with the green flag clicked event, standard stuff. Okay, so we're going to start by creating some new variables. X for this sprite only, Y for this sprite only. Now these are going to hold our X and Y position. We're going to generate the terrain from the left of the screen to the right of the screen. So, the X is how far along we are, and the Y is what the height of our terrain is. So at the beginning we're going to set X to 0 and Y to 0. Then we'll go to X, then our X value minus 240. So negative 240 is the left edge of the screen, and then the Y, we'll use our Y value. Okay, now we're going to have a repeat until loop. We're going to repeat until X is greater than 479. The width of the screen is 480, so once it hits the edge of the screen, we're going to stop. So we're going to go to X minus 240 YY. I already did that. And then, for now, I'm just going to change X by 1. Okay, so this will move us across the screen. Now, we're going to add the pen extension because we're going to be using pen to draw our terrain. So, we're just going to pen down at the beginning. And go to here and pen down. And then pen up at the end. So when we run this, we should see a line being drawn all the way across our screen. Okay. We should put an erase all and a pen up at the beginning also. Pen up before the erase all, so it starts new every time we make a new terrain. Okay, there we go. So that's not very boring. It's just a flat terrain. So now, let's change Y by random from -2 to 2. Let's see what happens now. So, you can see that now we have some terrain generating here. It's sort of jagged though. It's not very smooth, and we want smoother terrain than that. So what we're going to do is use sine. So sine kind of makes waves when it's graphed. So we're going to make a new variable A for this sprite only. And then at the beginning we'll set A to 0. And here we're going to change A by, let's say, 10. Now up here we're going to set Y to the sine of A and multiplied by like 5 maybe. Now let's run that. Now you see we have these hills. Okay, so this is not very natural terrain. So we can change A by pick random, let's say 0 to 10. So this will give us some randomness, so it's not quite as the same, but it's still very similar, as you can see. If we make this side minus 10, then that's not going to have that much change, because on average it's changing it by 0. So now we're going to have another variable called b, and we're going to stack the sign of this on top of the sign of a. So we're going to change b by, pick random, -5 to 15. How about? To give a little variation in there. So sin of a times 5, and we're going to add to that the sign of b, then maybe times 4 or something like that. So now if we watch it, see we have a little more variation in our terrain. We still have hills and valleys generally, but it's sort of more varied. Let's make a list to store each of the y positions. We'll call it y positions for this sprite only. And each time we're going to add y to y positions. Okay, now if we run this, we can see the y positions list. It's filling up with a bunch of y positions. You see they all have lots of decimals after them. So we're going to just round y. We also need to delete all of y positions at the beginning. So now if we run it and look at y positions, we'll see we have nice integer values. So I messed around with it a little bit, and I decided that I liked 8 and 6 up here, -10 to 5, and -5 to 15. But again, you can do it however you want. So now we want to make our terrain look a little bit nicer, rather than just a black line. So we're going to make a block called refresh pen. Can run without screen refresh. It's very important. So at the beginning, we're going to pen up and erase all. So this is going to refresh the pen each time. So we're going to draw it again each frame. Now we're going to make a variable called drawIndex for the sprite only. This variable will hold which index we're drawing at, so which index of the list y positions. So we're going to set drawIndex to 1. We're going to start at the first index. Just configure our pen. I'm just going to set pen size to 2. Okay, so now we're going to have a repeat loop. We're going to repeat for the length of y positions. So first we're going to set x to drawIndex minus 240. So drawIndex minus 240. Okay, then we're going to set y to item drawIndex of y positions. Now set pen color to a nice grassy green color. So now we're going to go pen down, and then for now I'm just going to pen up again, and then I'm going to change drawIndex by 1. Okay, so we do need to put a refresh pen block right here. I always forget to do that for some reason, but let's try that out. So now we have a green pen. So it's basically the same thing as before, but we know that this is working. Okay, then we're going to change y by, say, -2. And then we're going to set pen color to brown. So dirt. Then we'll change Y by another, say, -10. Then we'll set pen color to a gray for stone. And then we'll just set Y to -180. So at the bottom of the screen. So now we have some stone and some dirt. Very pretty. Looks much like an actual terrain now. And I'm also going to set the stage color to, I'm going to put it in bitmap. We're going to set it to like a light bluish color to be the sky. So something like that. Now we play it. And wow, this is looking wonderful. It's crazy how much some nice art can make your projects look. So I want some water in my terrain. So some lakes would be really nice. So we're going to make a variable water level for this sprite only. This will hold the water level, so any point below that point will be covered in water. So right now I'm going to make this a slider so we can change the water level, and I'm going to make my range let's say maybe -40 to 40. Okay, that should be all we need to change it. So I'll keep that at 0 right now. Can set water level to 0 right here at the beginning. So now in refresh pen, we're going to check up here if, and we're going to have an if else right here. If Y position, because we already set Y up here, if Y position is greater than water level, then we're going to do this. This should be in the if, sorry. Then we're going to do this, what we've been doing before. Otherwise, we're going to set Y to water level. So go to the water level, and then set pen color to blue, and then pen down, and then we'll set Y to item draw index of Y positions. So now we see we have a lake right here, and if we change our water level, the lake will go down or up. Okay, so I am noticing that my error here. I should probably put the change Y by -2 here because we are when the dirt below the water is not the right height. So now if we do this, we can make it an ocean, or we can make it no water at all. Awesome. This is looking really great. But it is looking a bit barren. It could use some trees to spruce it up. Okay, so we're going to make a list called tree positions for this sprite only. So let's make a block called add tree. Run without screen refresh. We're gonna put our add tree block right after here, before the change X after the go to. Now we can actually remove these pen down and pen up and go to blocks from here, because now we have our refresh pen to do it. So in our add tree block, we're going to check if, and then a random number. How about 1 to 20 equals 1. Then we're just going to add X to tree positions. Okay. Now we're going to draw these in the refresh pen. We're going to actually make a new block called draw tree at X. Then we're going to have an input X, then a text label Y, and input Y. Okay, done with that screen, refresh. So we're going to put this in down here after the set Y to -180. First we need to check if plant positions contains tree positions, sorry, contains draw index. If it does, we can draw tree at draw index -240 for the X, and then the Y will be item draw index of Y positions. Okay, so I'm going to make code to draw a simple tree. First I'm going to go to X, X, Y, Y, then set pen color to like a sort of tree trunk brown color, like maybe that kind of color. I'm going to go pen down. Then we can change X by, let's say, 8 to make a sort of tree trunk. Actually, we can do a random value here. Let's say 4 to 8. Right, then we're going to set pen color to green, and set pen size to big. Set pen size to, let's say, 8. That's a pretty big pen. Then we're just going to set X to X position, so just like updating the pen, making it draw. And then pen up. And we need to make sure to set the pen size back to 2 at the end here. This should be a change Y, and a set Y to Y position. We should just do 8 there. Sorry about that. Okay, they are no longer bobbing up and down, but they are sitting in the middle of the water. And this can look kind of strange if we put the water up here because it's going on top of the trees. So we need to make sure that the item draw index of Y positions is greater than water level. Okay. So when we move the water down, we'll see the trees come back, but when we go up, they go away. Also, there's way too many trees. So that is because we are not deleting all of the tree positions at first, because we need to do that. So once we do that, we'll have a more reasonable amount of trees. So, yeah, there we go. Still kind of a lot of trees. You can decrease this amount, or increase this to like 40, and then we're not going to have very many trees. Yeah, just not very many trees if we do it like that, but that's okay. Now we need to make some different biomes, because just this one biome is kind of boring. So I'm going to have 4 biome types. Number 1 is plains, number 2 is forest, number 3 is desert, and number 4 is snow. So I'm going to make a variable biome for the sprite only. And I'm going to make a list, biomes, and I'm going to make this capital because we're going to actually leave this for all sprites. The reason why I'm doing this is because we might want to be able to tell what biome we're in if we make this into a game. Okay, so we're going to delete all biomes at the beginning. Not going to forget to do that this time. And we're going to set biome to 1. So I'm going to show the biome variable and make it a slider just like our water level one. And make the slider range 1 to 4 because there's 4 biomes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We're going to add biome to biomes each time. So now if we look at the biome list, we should see that it is quickly filling up with 1. If we change it to 2, it'll now be filling up with 2s. If we change it to 4, there'll be 4s. Okay. Now in refresh pen, we're going to check what biome we're in, and then that will depend on what pen color we set it to. So, if item draw index of biomes equals 1, I'm going to set pen color to green, that's our plans. If it's 2, we're going to set it to a darker green, just to indicate that it's a forest. So I'm going to make it a little more like that. If it's 3, it's our desert. So we're going to make it a sandy yellow color. And if it's 4, this is our snow area, so we'll make it sort of a whitish color. White like snow. Okay. So now, if we change the biome, I'm just going to make the water level down here. So now it's 2, so we can see the grass is a darker green. If we change it to 4, it's white. 3 is sand. But you can still see the same trees are generating. So these kinds of trees don't generate in deserts or snowy areas. So we're going to modify our draw tree at block. So we're going to edit this. So we're going to edit this and add another input biome. Just add a text here to make it clear. Biome. Okay. So biome will just be item draw index of biomes. Pretty simple. So if biome is 1 or biome is 2, we're going to be doing this. But if biome is 3, that's the desert, we'll draw a cactus instead. So to do that, we're going to set our pen color to a greenish color. Like that, sort of. Okay. Pen down. So now we're just going to change Y by 5. Then pen up. And then we're going to go back down like 3. Actually, I'm going to make this a 6. It's a 6 in my sample. So change Y by 6 to get that middle stock. We're going to go down and left, so change X by -3 is good. Okay, so we're going to go pen down and change Y by 2 this time because the left and right little stems are a little bit shorter than the middle one. Then we'll pen up once more. Then change Y by let's change Y by -2 to get back down. Change X by 6 to get to the right. Change Y by 2 and pin up. Okay. That's the desert tree. We're gonna test that, but we need to move this pen up, set pen size to 2 down to the bottom, because this is gonna happen no matter what. So I'm gonna set biome to 3. Okay, so you see we have these cactuses. Looks like I forgot the stem that connects the two to the main one. Actually, I'm just going to make this -2 and 4 here. Sorry, I'm changing this button. So, yeah, so here we have some cactuses. Now we need to make the trees for the snowy area. So if biome is 4, this one we're going to set our pen color to like a darker brown, because they have like darker tree trunks. And then, pen down, we're going to change Y by 12, pen up, and then we're going to make some little side branches, like sort of what you might see on a Christmas tree. Okay, so we're going to change Y by -8 and change X by -5. We'll set pen color to a dark green for the leaves. We can pen down again. Change X by 10. Pen up. Change Y by 4. Yeah, change Y by 4 to get to the next leaves. Then we're going to change X by, -8. So to get to the left of the branch again, the trunk again, sorry, I can't speak. Now we're going to pen down again. Change X by 6. Pen up, change Y by 4. Change X by, let's say, -4. Pen down. Change X by 2. Okay. So now when we run this, so you have some nice spruce trees generating here. They're not great spruce trees. I'm sure you can probably come up with some better artwork than me. But whatever, this will do for now. So now that we have our different kinds of trees, let's also make sure they don't spawn too close together. So we're going to, inside here, okay, we're going to check if we're going to have item length of plant position, tree positions of tree positions. So the last item in tree positions, basically, is greater than X minus 5. So basically we placed a tree in the last 5X positions, so we don't get trees spawning right next to each other like some places in here. So then we're going to stop the script and not go on to generate the tree. So we don't see trees generating too close together anymore. We do see them generating relatively close together, but not like right next to each other. Okay, so now I'm just going to test all the different biomes to make sure they're all working. 2, that's generating nice trees. 3, generating spruce trees. Perfect. Okay. So, it'd be nice if we could change the biome by itself instead of having to manually change the biome. So we're going to make a new block called change biome. Run without screen refresh. Okay, so this is only going to happen very rarely. So if 1 to 100 is 1, then we can do something similar here like what we did there. So if item x minus 25 of biomes is not equal to biome, then stop the script. Now, so this checks the item 25 spaces before our current x position. And if that's not the same biome, then it's not going to change it. So it's not going to have micro, super tiny biomes. That's what this is preventing. Okay, so if that does not stop the script and we continue, we're going to check if biome equals 1. So this is the plains biome. So from the plains biome, we want to switch either to the desert or to the forest. So we don't have like, so we're not just going to set the biome to a random biome, because then we might have like a desert right next to a snowy place. So instead, we're going to check like for each of the biome and then change it to a certain biome. So from biome 1, we want to either change it to forest or desert. And this can just be accomplished by changing biome by pick random 1 to 2. The other one that's not quite so simple for, we should make sure to stop the script afterwards. So the next one is not quite so simple for, biome equals 2. If pick random 1 to 2 equals 1, we're going to set biome to 1, so this is the plains. If it's not, we're going to set biome to 4, so the snowy area. If biome is desert, we're just going to set biome to the plains. And if biome is snowy, we're going to set biome to forest. So number 2. Okay, so I'll give you a chance to look at this. You can pause the video if you want, but I'll explain exactly what this is doing. So we sort of have a spectrum of biomes. On the left is desert and on the right is snowy. So like the second biome on the spectrum, like left from to the right of desert, is the plains. And then we have near snowy, we have forest. So the biome can change to the one to its left or right on the spectrum. So if it's plains, that'd be either desert or forest. If it's forest, that's either desert or snowy. If it's snowy, that's guaranteed to be forest because it's on one end of the spectrum. And if it is desert, it's also on one end of the spectrum, so it's guaranteed to switch it to plains. Okay, so we need to stick this block in this repeat until loop right after add tree. Okay, now we can test that out. So I'm just gonna lower the water level to see so you can see it better. It's 1 right now. Yep, there it goes. Just turned to 3. Then back to 1 right after that. Okay. So you might want to adjust the probabilities here. Maybe 1 to 80 would be better. I don't know. But it's your choice, whatever you feel like. Set it to 2. Just gonna see what it looks like here. Yep, there it goes to 4. Okay, so this looks like it's working well. So there's only one thing that I want to do, and that is to have this water level automatically adjust, because right now having to slide the water level as you go is kind of annoying. And I also want to make this be able to update automatically, like as much as possible. I don't want the user to have to change it when it's generating in the future. So it's kind of fun right now, but I'm going to hide these variables and make a new variable called sum of y levels. So this is going to be the sum of the y levels. So this is going to be used to take the average of the y levels, and we're going to use that to set the water position to something. So there'll be some lakes, but not too many lakes. Okay. So at the beginning, we're going to set sum of y levels to 0. Then each time here, we're going to change sum of y levels by round y. Now, down here, we can set water level to, and then we're going to get a divided by. So sum of y levels divided by length of y position. So this is just the average y level, but we don't want, or I don't want, half of my world to be covered in water. So I'm going to subtract something from that. I'm going to subtract, say, 10. Okay, shall we try that? Okay, I'm going to show the water level variable, but yeah, we can see that the water level is updating. Oh, okay. You see the decimal. I don't want it to be decimal, so I'm just going to round this. So it is not a decimal, which is a nice integer. We like integers. Okay. So there we go. We have some lakes here. As it gets more hilly, we're going to have deeper lakes. And as there's more valleys, we're going to have less underwater. Okay, so you can choose, like, maybe that's a little too low for you. Maybe you'd rather have it like -5. So there's more water. So you can do whatever you like, but I'm going to do this for me. Alright, so we've created hills, we've created lakes, we've created trees. It's all looking very nice. Okay, so I'd like to end the episode here, but first I'd like to talk about a few things. First of all, I'd like you to let me know how you like this. Would you like more episodes where we start generating more different things? Maybe we'll add more biomes, maybe we'll add caves, and even possibly in the future, we will fill a tile grid randomly using this method. So, I'm excited to see what you think of that. And if you'd like to let me know what you think of these things, I now have a community tab. So I think it's because I've been a year on YouTube. So I encourage you to go check that out. I'll put polls up there, so if you want to vote on what the next video will be, you should go do that. But anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.